So woke up Saturday morning, grabbed a cup of coffee at Starbucks. This is Nitro Pumpkin Spice Cold Brew. And headed out to Spirit Halloween to grab the wig I was after. And this was the picture from the website from the night before. The wig, when I got there, it took me a few moments to find it because the model was a little bit different on the package, but I could tell it was the same wig. Stopped off to play a little Pokemon Go on the way home. It was Charmander event day, community day. So caught a few of those, then got home and set up my wig block and put my wig on it. It's always tricky getting one on by yourself. You gotta pin the front down first and then go from there. Once you get the front pin down, you can pull the back easier, like that. Then I stuck a pin at the nape of the neck. Once I got it all situated, you gotta make sure if you got bangs on the front of it, you didn't get the bangs trapped under the wig while you're working on it. So got it set up and then basically kind of started to play with it a little bit to understand how it's put together. This is a $20 costume wig, so it's not going to be the highest quality. It's going to have taken some shortcuts to keep the cost down, but it's going to work for what I want for a Halloween costume. And I'm fairly adept at making things work from my cosplay days. But I've gotten braver with trying to style wigs since I've taken a few wig styling classes from a few folks. So I'm a little braver about getting my hands into a wig and really trying to see what I can do with it. The first step you gotta do is kind of examine where all the wefts of hair are in it, how they're sewn in, and you kind of do that by just picking around at it. You figure out how many layers there are to it, where you can pull it apart, where you maybe won't see the cap. This is a very cheap wig, so it doesn't have like a fake skin top on it or anything like that. It's just the cap and the bare minimum of tracks. I actually wanted this wig in particular because I saw the kind of the body of it, the fluffiness of it. I knew that that would help kind of mask the crappiness of it, if that makes any sense. That kind of texture of hair. And also, that's kind of the texture of hair I was going for, that kind of 80s goth, grungy, fried out a little bit Lydia hair that she has, more like the movie Lydia than the cartoon Lydia, but it's a good thing to start with. So I started picking the layers apart and figuring out where I could pull half of it up and keep half of it down. I kept running into the problem that there'd be this big bald seam if I pulled half of it up. So I kind of came to the conclusion that I would need to pull the center of the top part of the wig up into a ponytail, and then pull the sides back. And you can see here, if I pull them back into their own mini ponytail under the other ponytail, it covers that track. So I think that is gonna work just fine. And then I can kind of put the two ponytails together with that purple wrap that'll be around them. So then you won't be able to see that necessarily that there's two ponytails pulled up. It'll just be the one. So joined those together eventually. And once I had it kind of separated the way I wanted to straighten parts of it. And I did this by making the wig wet with water and then using an iron with a towel that's also wet over it to kind of create a steam. You could also use a steamer to do this. I just don't have a steamer. So you just iron it flat. It's plastic, so you don't want to apply heat directly to it or you'll melt it. But a little indirect heat with steam can really do wonders. So you can see that I straightened out the bottom, but I left it kind of kinky towards the scalp so that it had like body and texture and would hide that cap better. So I only straightened the parts that'll be further down. And then I went upstairs and I put the wig on so I could get a better feel for if I had the ponytails right and what I could do about those bangs. Because I don't know, wigs, man, they always give you like bangs down to your nose. I don't get it. There I am. But luckily I wear that style of bangs, so I know pretty well how to cut it. It's a little different cutting your own bangs versus wig bangs, but it's not that different, to be honest, as you can tell in just a moment here. There it is. I'm pretty darn good at cutting those Betty Page bangs. So I cut those suckers and put a lot of product in them. I used that Got To Be paste and some oil, and I smoothed them out with my comb and textured them up with my scissors, and yeah, I think it works. Gives it kind of the Betty Bangs effect that I wanted for the front of the wig. And then some little pieces around the sides to help hide the hairline. Now I am wrapping the ends of the wig into these foam rollers. These are like rag rollers that are really easy to sleep in. I use them quite often when I want a nice wet set that's gonna hold up all day long. And then I boiled some water because I'm going to put those curlers and the hair into the hot water, and it's going to kind of flash set those curls, because this is plastic again, this isn't hair, so you gotta kind of think of it like sculpting. So hot water, and I just dunk them in there, get them wet, and then pull them out, and I set them on the counter to dry. Made sure I got every single one of them wet, and then after a little bit, when they were less wet, I pulled them out, and the curls are intact. Perfect. They're still wet, so I'm gonna let them sit for several hours before I start kind of brushing through them. Not because I feel like brushing the wet curls will make the curls fall out, but it will make the hair or the wig fiber snarl. So we'll come back in a while and brush them. So it took a few hours and the wig finally dried, and so it was time to brush out these curls and kind of start getting the final styling finished. So I went to work on the curls and then took it upstairs to try it on, and this is what it looks like. I ordered a bunch of purple and pink scrunchies, and I'm going to put them where my fist is there, so that'll hold the style up like hers and give it that lift for that back ponytail. Looks pretty darn good. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out, and I'm really excited to start working on the costume portion of it next for what I imagine will be the final installment of this 3-part series. So stay tuned for that and see how it all comes together. And then I will have my costume for Halloween all finished. It's 1991 all over again. I'll see you next time. Bye.